As investigators work to piece together exactly what led to this violent Sunday evening, we're walking you through everything we know. Witnesses describing the tense moments this all went down. A chaotic scene playing out along Georgesville and Climb on the west side. A suspect on the run. Officers looking to track him down. The search ending here at this bustling intersection.
All of a sudden we had all these cops everywhere.
This is actually pretty shocking.
Witnesses with a clear view of how it all played out.
There has to be a reason why. Why?
Columbus police confirming the armed suspect fired a shot, hitting an officer. All of it playing out on a busy Mother's Day evening.
They're putting their life on the line.
I mean, this is not supposed to happen on a day for mothers.
Investigators shutting down traffic for hours as they gathered evidence. This scene, a shock to the system for those seeing it firsthand. Following that confrontation with police, we're told that suspect was taken to Doctors West Hospital, where he was pronounced dead just before 7. Rodney Dunigan reporting. A deadly streak of days across Columbus, from Wineland Park to the Far East Side. The string of violence sending concern through the city. Our Bob Kendrick pressing the mayor just this week on what can be done.
All of us have a role to play in making sure that we're safe and that every family in every neighborhood in our city feel safe and secure.
Community advocates like Mike Johnson heeding that call.
It's upsetting to know that, I can't reach all of them. And that's what I started out doing. I wanted to reach all the kids, and I couldn't do it. I found out that I couldn't do it.
We were with Johnson Wednesday night in Franklin Park.
Give me your jab. 1, 2, 1, 2, I'll back right in.
He's taking his love of the sweet science to the streets, literally.
Give me the jab. Double jab.
In light of this week's violence, Johnson stresses his mission is an important one, keeping these kids out of harm's way and making a real impact.
It teaches how a kid how to be, to mind his parents, to mind his adult teachers. So what we do is we box. We go to several tournaments. We go to several fights every year. We travel a lot, and it changes them. Man, we're not in Columbus no more. We're out here. We're meeting new friends that's way far away from here. You know what I mean? So they become disciplined, and they want to go on these trips.
As the summer draws near and fears of more violence looms, Johnson hoping to bring more kids here, keeping them out of harm's way.
And hook right hand.
Providing a safe space and a chance to grow, and most importantly, survive.
Okay.
Rodney Dunigan reporting.
Better picture of what happened that day.
I'll tell you what, Terry, it certainly does. It certainly paints a picture that we have been wanting to see for weeks now. And for weeks, we have been demanding answers from state investigators. They have not told us much, but this detailed report provides vital information. Take a look at this graphic. It breaks down a lot of important points in this story. Lieutenant Rodney Osborne took a bullet to the chest. Now, it caused serious injuries to his ribs and his right lung. He was wearing a bulletproof vest at the time. That bullet hit him just above the vest line. The bullet that killed him was actually found in the back of that vest. The coroner's office has ruled the manner of death as a homicide. Now, we've reported in the past the Highway Patrol is investigating this case as a reckless homicide. Just weeks ago, we spoke with his sister, Candace Mitchell. She, along with her family, are devastated by the loss.
Rest easy, bub. Know that we're gonna try to get justice for you. I love you, bub, and I'm not ever gonna forget you. That's for sure.
The Highway Patrol says they're approaching this case with great compassion and care for the Osborne family. The commander in charge of that training was placed on administrative leave. A state employee is currently under investigation for reckless homicide in this case. Now, speaking of that worker under investigation, we've also learned this incident happened during a demonstration portion of a training at the gun range. We've reached out to the Highway Patrol as well as the State Department of Corrections to get more information, the latest details, of course, on this investigation and if charges could be coming soon. Terry, certainly a lot to follow, and we will stay on top of it. For more than a year now, the family of Brandon Gilliam has been forced to deal with a painful loss. The young father gunned down during a home invasion. His kids right there to watch it all. Loved ones tell me what makes it more heartbreaking is that the shooter is still out there.
I'm praying. I know he's with God because he had a big heart. He helped anybody.
For Virginia Gilliam, her emotions remain raw, devastated by the loss of her son, Brandon.
I'm still hurt. This is a nightmare.
The 28-year-old father gunned down in May of last year in his northeast Columbus home, the victim of a vicious home invasion. His wife also hurt. His kids at home witnessing it all.
You know, you do everything for your kids. You love them. And I want justice. That's all I can do for him now, is justice.
More than a year later, loved ones say there still hasn't been an arrest in the case. No clues about why or who would have done it. A vital piece of their family fabric ripped away. The family tells me they're hopeful someone will eventually come forward with the needed information that will eventually lead to an arrest in this case, giving them the closure they're desperately searching for. Rodney Dunigan reporting. The prohibition against conspiracy while wearing a disguise law. If you've never heard of it, you're certainly not alone. It took effect here in Ohio back in 1953. It was meant to address acts of violence by the Klan, but now the law could be used to target protesters on college campuses. For weeks, pro-Palestinian protesters have gathered on college campuses across the country, including Ohio State. A number arrested on the OSU campus, now facing misdemeanor trespassing charges. But in this letter sent to the state's public universities this week, State Attorney General Dave Yost advised administrators that a law written to deter KKK demonstrations could be used to impose felony charges on those wearing face coverings while protesting. The law went into effect in October of 1953 and is summed up in a sentence. No person shall unite with two or more others to commit a misdemeanor while wearing white caps, masks, or other disguise. In his letter to the universities, Yost wrote, violating this anti-disguise law is punishable by a fourth-degree felony charge and up to $5,000 in fines.
I think it's out of line. I think it's really insincere.
Nana Watson, president of the local NAACP, thinks the idea of using a law meant to address the violence of the Klan in the 50s to deal with protesters in 2024 is out of line and out of touch.
I think it's extremely disrespectful to Black people.
As far as OSU is concerned, a university spokesman telling us they have received the letter and are reviewing it. OSU President Ted Carter speaking just this week.
Obviously, we'll take a look at it, but we're not doing anything, taking any particular action on it.
In a Fox News appearance, Yost indicating the letter was simply legal advice.
All the letter does is say, hey, don't become an accidental felon. Ohio has a law here, and incidentally, it's not even implicated unless you're committing a criminal act, another criminal act with two or more people while you're wearing a mask. I don't understand how advising somebody about how to be a law-abiding citizen is intimidating or disgusting.
At this point, all of those arrested at recent protests at OSU are not facing felony charges. Now that this law has come to the attention of university administrators and protesters, it's unclear how this could impact any future demonstrations on college campuses statewide. Rodney Dunigan reporting. This is a serious fight impacting 500,000 Ohio educators and their retirement fund pushing $91 billion. The governor and now state AG Dave Yost calling into question the leaders in charge of protecting those funds. These, the faces of a simmering statewide controversy now starting to boil over. Wednesday, State AG Dave Yost filing suit to remove both Wade Steen and Rudy Fichtenbaum from the state teachers' retirement system, saying in part the pair have breached their responsibilities to protect the fund and in turn the teachers of Ohio. The lawsuit detailing serious accusations, saying Steen and Fichtenbaum sought to steer up to $65 billion in pension funds to a shell company with ties to both. The suit calling the pair's actions a scheme that may spell disaster for Ohio teachers. The suit comes just a week after the AG launched an investigation into the system, following questions raised by Governor Mike DeWine about oversight. The governor's office providing these documents detailing a list of the allegations from an STRS whistleblower.
We want people to be careful in regard to the investment. It's not my job to tell this board how to invest money. But there's no doubt that there was serious discussion, and we have strong evidence of that. There was serious discussion about taking 2/3 of the money and putting it in a very, very untested program, untested investing, a different way of investing, and entrusting that money to a company that had virtually no experience in doing that.
In a lengthy response to those claims, Fichtenbaum said in part, "I have fulfilled my duty, acting with integrity and in a professional manner. I have done nothing but represent the interest of members, both active and retirees." State law gives the AG the authority to file suit to remove pension board members if they don't act in the best interest of the system. Rodney Dunigan reporting.